Kirlian photography is a technique that creates an object's electrical discharge, or, in other words, it captures the energy or the aura of the object being presented. As you can see, these are photos of your hand, of somebody making a fist, some plant and a key. It all has electromagnetic frequency, it all has aura. It is pretty much the energy field, that of plants, humans, and all things. As you can see, we have more plants, and then we have a mushroom. Let's talk about angstroms of energy. We will come back to the Kirlian photography, but first let's talk about angstroms of energy. Angstroms of energy is pretty much the energy that is provided to the body and the cells from the foods that you eat. So, the higher the angstroms, the more energetic you're going to feel. The lower the angstroms, the more lethargic you'll feel. The average human body operates on 6,500 angstroms of energy. We need an average of 6,000 to 7,000 angstroms of systematic energy at all times. So let's look at this chart of foods, right? Fruits emits 8,000 to 10,000 angstroms. Raw vegetables, 8,000 to 9,000 angstroms. Cooked vegetables is like 3,000 to 6,500. And anything below that, which is dairy, refined flour, cooked meat, is pretty much, it's dead. A cooked meat especially is dead. It has 0 angstroms. The average cancer patient measures 4,975 angstroms. So according to Christopher Bird, you are susceptible to diseases at 4,500 to 5,200 angstroms. You are more susceptible to cancer and very much other diseases. Andre Simonton made a breakthrough and categorized the foods in 4 different categories. I was about to say calories, whatever. The first category was foods between 6,500 to 10,000 angstroms, which was fresh raw fruits sitting at 8,000 to 10,000, fresh raw vegetables at 8,000 to 9,000 angstroms. The second category was foods between 3,000 to 6,500, which was cooked vegetables. Keep in mind that no other thing, this is the closest thing, and this is the only angstroms that should actually be being consumed to not be susceptible to cancer or any type of diseases. Remember that. The third category was foods below 3,000 angstroms: milk, cooked meats, sausages, coffee, tea, jams, cheeses, white flour. And the fourth category pretty much exhibits no energy whatsoever: refined white sugar, which is cane sugar, bleached flour, alcoholic spirits. There's a reason why they call it alcohol, the body-eating spirit, and margarines. And cooked meat. Cooked meat has 0 angstroms of energy. So now, let's go back to Kirlian photography. A cooked tomato has less aura, less electromagnetic energy than the raw tomato. Cooked broccoli has less electromagnetic energy than the raw broccoli. Now look at this. Raw meat and cooked meat. Before we get into this, right, it already has 0 angstroms of energy. Cooked meat already has 0 angstroms of energy. Or at least less than 2,000, right? Whatever. It has 0 in mind. It's dead frequency. It's dead meat. It's dead. That's period. It's dead. Raw meat. Look at the electromagnetic energy coming out of it. Yeah, it's nice. Cooked meat. I don't know what you're thinking, but I do not think this is cooked. That looks raw to me. Medium rare? I don't know, dude. That looks pretty raw still. And look at all the energy that it has lost. If we look at the slice of meat on the other one, it has way less energy, and it's pretty much the same thing. An apple, look at that vibration. Look at that high energetic food that you get. Look at that. Oh, look at all that energy that your body consumes into the body and the cells. Organic mushrooms, it looks very electrical. Conventional looks like it has way less for sure, and it doesn't look like it's emitting the same vibrational quality. Look at cacao. That little dot itself is the cacao itself. Look at all that electromagnetic frequency. Look at that vitality. That's energy right there. And a sprout, that's some energy. Now, not only are you cooking meats, right? Not only are you cooking your food, but you actually lose nutrients, 60 to 70% of nutrients from your food when you cook it. So, boiling or cooking vegetables can lose 60 to 70% of potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, iron, and zinc. So let's say for example, right? Because you have to cook meat. Meat, you're trying to eat meat for its iron levels, for its iron, right? It has high levels of iron. Most people, 70% of the population of the United States, from that what I know of, is already mineral deficient in iron. So when you're cooking meat, not only are you trying to get the deficiency of the iron back, but you're also killing and destroying the iron from the food that you're consuming. Add that with the angstroms of energy, well, I mean, it makes sense that when you eat meat, it's super dense. You feel slower. Now let's look at a video at Kirlian Photography.
Now at the University of California at Los Angeles, a laboratory exists where researchers are attempting to capture this human energy on film. The process is called Kirlian Photography, named after Seymour and Valentina Kirlian, Russian scientists who pioneered it in the 1930s.
Okay, if you place your finger on the top row of the film.
The subject places her fingertips on a sheet of photographic paper, which lies on top of an electrically charged plate. The paper is exposed and developed like an ordinary black and white photograph. The results, however, are not at all ordinary. These Kirlian motion pictures revealed that an energy field, or corona, exists around each fingertip as it does around different parts of the body. This corona, rather than remaining constant, varies with changes in the subject's state of mind. In one experiment, the subject, calm at the start, is pricked with an unpleasantly sharp object. The corona of her thumb, at first brilliant and wide, becomes increasingly smaller and less distinct under stress, until, with the subject at her most anxious, it almost disappears. In a reverse experiment, a tense subject is invited to have a drink and relax, under strictly controlled conditions, of course. At the outset, the subject is anxious. His corona is thin. After 9 ounces of alcohol, it becomes broader. After 14 ounces, it displays what you might almost call a rosy glow.
You certainly look more relaxed.
Yes, well, yeah, okay.
In an experiment done with cancerous and healthy rats, the results indicate a definite difference in the corona around their tails. The implications of this research are promising. If these tests are substantiated, perhaps one day Kirlian photography will be used as a tool in medical diagnosis. Every living thing radiates an energy all its own. Yet to what do these energy fields correspond? Kirlian photographs of plant leaves and flower petals have raised some curious and as yet unanswered questions. Normally, healthy plants have distinctive, colorful coronas. On a few occasions, when part of a leaf has been cut off, a strange ghost afterimage appears. Researchers call it the phantom leaf effect, but no one knows yet what it means. What happens when 2 human energy fields come in contact? Tim and Lois are lovers. Photographed alone, his finger's aura is blue and spiky. Hers is white and softer around the edges. When they touch, their coronas mix and mingle. In contrast, observe this Kirlian photograph of people who are a little angry at each other. And this one, in which the person on the left is extremely hostile. Research has shown that the auras of the strong tend to dominate the weak, as can be seen in this Kirlian family portrait. Mother and father at the top, child at the bottom, rather overwhelmed.
Hi, this is Dr. Claudia Kay, and I'm here to give you the 7th tip in 7 days. And we are so excited to help you understand the importance of your health. So Big John just talked about detoxification and the importance of detoxing. As you know, we consume over 500 chemicals a day. That's why it's so critical for you to listen to what Big John has said in regard to detoxification. The important part of this 3-step program, you detoxify, then you get nutrient primed. Like all of these supplements, I use 2 main companies, and I love Standard Process and I love Health and Harmony. Homeopathics and the supplements that are whole food supplements, and there's a huge difference. But the most important thing when you get nutrient primed is the food that you eat as well. So the food matters a lot, and a lot of us have, if you go in your kitchen and you look in the cupboards or in your fridge, we have a lot of junk food, and it's time to clean out the junk food. Now, you can wait till after the holidays, that's okay, but if you really want to jumpstart the new year and get a start on that, you need to get nutrient primed. And I'm going to show you some pictures. So for example, this is Kirlian Photography. This is a method of photography that the Russians developed years and years ago. And it has the ability to capture the life of the products and the foods that you eat. For example, this is an orange cut in half, and you can see the brilliant energy that's being let off from these oranges. Why? Because it is a live, living food. So it's important that you include live, raw, healthy food with all the enzymes associated in your diet. Now this is a picture on here with the raw cabbage that you can see. Okay, this is raw. See all the brilliant light? This is cooked cabbage. See how dull and you can hardly see it at all? That's why things like raw sauerkraut is great for your colon. It's so important for the production of healthy bacteria that so many of us are at a loss at because of all the bacteria, of the harmful bacteria and or antibiotics that we've consumed. This is a picture of olive oil. See the bright, beautiful color of olive oil? See this one? This is lard. There's a huge difference between olive oil and the health that it gives your body versus lard. Again, this is muesli. For those of you that know what muesli is, it's a raw grain breakfast cereal that you can make. It's very popular in Europe. And guess what this is? It's cornflakes. You can't even see. You can't even see the cornflakes. It's such a dead, inorganic material. Plus, you're looking at cornflakes made by Kellogg's that's all genetically modified. So again, if you want to jumpstart your health for the new year and get a lease on life, please use the raw organic foods that have live enzymes and live foods. Now, this is really interesting. This is a photograph of handprint of a man that eats nothing but, you can't even see his outline of his hands, can you? This is a man that eats nothing but junk food, like at the fast food restaurants. This is a man that eats healthy raw foods. Look at the difference between the two. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. So my quest for you and your homework is include more raw, healthy foods in your diet. You're going to feel the difference. You're going to get nutrient primed because these raw foods have live enzymes that help you to digest your food and help you to become healthier. So we appreciate you tuning in for the 7th tip and 7th day. Again, this is Claudia Kay for the short of it. Thanks so much for listening.